Everybody, welcome to the Real World Content Team meeting for, what is today? The 16th, 14th, 15th, 16th, the 17th. We have me and Mike. And if you don't already know what we're doing, Justice for Hire is our first show. Real World is our company. And what is Real World? Real World has built a cinematic social network where anything you post is part of a movie or show that we're producing with a community. And Justice for Hire is our very first community show. We got 7.5 million views on our very first episode on TikTok. Anybody can join the cast right from their phone. It's free to join, and you can become a hero or a villain or a client that hires them, because it's like Uber, but for heroes. And I am in the midst of driving around in an Uber, promoting this, passing out stickers and such to tell people about not only the show, but our first equity crowdfunding campaign that anybody can essentially own part of our company and our patent pending technology as we prepare to offer our tech to anybody that wants to be able to make a movie or show with the community. So if you like what we're doing with Justice for Hire and the fact that people can join the cast right now and make scenes, and our app ties those scenes into other people's storylines, and you want to make your own, maybe you want to do sci-fi or comedy or horror or a period piece, anything, invest in the company, invest in Real World on WeFunder. That's WeFunder.com/ReelwUrld. And you can join Justice for Hire from justiceforhire.app.app and justiceforhire.com, realworld.com. Both of those will tell you all about exactly the stuff I just said. So right now we do these content team meetings once a week. We got Mike here. I'm not sure if Guru can join us because I believe he's at work. And I'm not sure if David can join us today, but Mike, always delighted to spend time with you. And thank you for I was just watching your latest video with the stabilization on the arms, which is pretty wonderful. So thank you for that. And I will accept that invitation to collaborate. I will accept that likely within the next few hours, because I just put out a video for us doing like a little cross promotion with DJ's Universal Comics in Studio City. So I literally just put that out. So I'll give it some room to breathe, and then I'll accept that other collaboration, man. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Dude, first of all, how you doing? How you feeling about all the stuff that I've had some all the stuff we're doing. I've had some deep thoughts on a new phase for JFH. I think I talked about it with you and Guru a few weeks ago, where everything posted on JFH, it'll be very rare when it's something that's out of character, meaning that almost everything will be storyline posted on there. And so that this is, I'm really excited about this, and even the format of how we're going to be releasing episodes, which has shifted in terms of the thinking. But I'm interested, and I want to make an announcement of that, which will likely be one of the last formal announcements on the IG, one of the few and far apart ones. So I will do that shortly, likely this week. But I just want to get a sense of you, how you feel week to week, creating a piece of content, what you would like to see, either from the team, from yourself, from me, from the story of Justice for Hire, or from Real World, whatever it is, to make things, to improve things. So I'm just interested in your thoughts on all this.
Well, I brought this up before, and it's kind of an ongoing thing, but what I would really like is an easier means to collaborate, because I know a lot of people have problems coordinating. Like, for those of you who don't know about Urban Action Showcase, that's a big deal for us, and we make videos for it. So I made one with another guy, Ruben, aka Tai Chi Wonder, and for that, he contacted me directly via text message. So that's fine, because we've been friends a long time. I already knew him and all that. But it'd be great if there was a functionality in the app or the website, or in general, people to just connect physically if they need to collaborate.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing I would like, and that's not a a new thing. It's something we've talked about before. So it's not like this is really new quality input, but if there's one thing I think we could use, that'd be it.
Okay, I deeply appreciate that. I will say this, that, you know, there's the thinking behind, like, there's a lot of things that we're doing right now that were hesitation, like lots of hesitation was felt before we did it. I mean, like the Justice for Hire app, the way the real world like processes work, all that stuff had hesitation, just because it's still, you know, so many people have avoided doing things like this because of how we're essentially working with people to create that may or may not have ever created before. I think that I'm really happy that social media has kind of shifted so that there is more of a creator culture from folks who may not necessarily be considered professionals. So I think that's great. The reason I mention that is because that hesitation is still somewhat real for me, and therefore resulting in me not asking for certain things yet. And one of the challenges that I have with people meeting up in person is that we've yet to have I think a really clear system of vetting people. Like, in fact, we've kind of pulled away unless someone is like glaringly, like, I look at everybody who's joined the app. Primordial just joined this morning. I have to go and look at that, and Greek Primordial. But you know, I think that we have to figure out, you know, I some form of some system of vetting and some system of like, it's not like we don't have these systems thought about. We just have to implement them, of like how somebody gets into the series, etc. I think it's because we've had enough activity where it's very manageable versus like not manageable. You know, like it's not like, you know, so many people are joining every day that's not manageable. So I'm just concerned that somebody might join that may not have been vetted, that connects to somebody else that you know, who might be a little less savvy to how to interact with another human being on an app, and then, you know, God forbid something happens to them, and it happened because you know, they connected on our app. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just doing my best to put it in the hands of other people for now, but I will say that even if that wasn't an issue, the thing that is a concern for me also is just general flakiness of human beings, especially like how that's become more commonplace in culture over the last, like, you know, several years. And so I think that that I really want to make sure that when we decide to put something that connects people so that they can actually make stuff together in person, that it's something that helps with the accountability as well. That's not just a aspirational, you know, like, yeah, I'd be down to do something like that, and then like people, you know, use that functionality and may or may not be you know, showing up to actually follow through, because that is one of the worst things that could happen for a filmmaker, is for you to have a plan, and obviously we're making this easier for people so that they don't necessarily need to be filmmakers to do certain things, but definitely being able to have a plan moving forward, to me is and being able to execute on it is like super important. So again, that kind of goes into vetting. It goes into culture and how we structure, like, what the culture is, what we motivate within the culture. So in terms of, like, you know, people showing up.
So that really circles back to Real World. You know, you're talking about having an out of character element on Real World. So if we have the in character, you could say subworlds like GFH or whatever else winds up being created. I think that would take us to a point where we would want a distinct real world profile that would be kind of a master profile.
Yes.
That would have certain features such as, does this guy have camera skills? Does this guy have stunt skills? Does this guy know how to edit? Kind of like a creators network. And circling back to the issue of reliability, I think that there could be, depending on scalability, right? What I would like would just be a sort of reputation where if somebody makes quality content and they have history of collaborations, you would naturally infer that this person is reliable. Whereas given a greater scalability, they say plan for success, right? So if this went as far as it possibly could, that would not be scalable. In which case, I'm going to give Andra a heart attack if he watches this. For those that know, Andra is kind of our tech expert, very skilled programmer. I think then you would almost want to consider, and this is the dark side, right? Implementing a mutual rating system. So say you say, I'm making this video, this is the time frame, I need a stunt guy, I need an effects guy, so on and so forth. If somebody doesn't show up, you just, star, and say, well, he didn't show up, but he did communicate well in advance. So I would see all that as being part of things that real world could potentially implement that would give value outside of, say, justice for hire.
So you're that I love everything you're saying, and it sounds to me, just to make sure I understood this correctly, when you say rating system, because I was just having a conversation about like rating your social content, meaning like a post that it's like rated R, rated PG-13, etc. You're talking more so about rating a person in their, let's say, reliability, etc. How professional or how reliable or how accountable they are based on their behavior from other people, right?
Yes, and that's not necessarily something that I want to do. I just thought it had to be said. We use Uber as an analogy quite a lot. So, if you're driving for Uber, customers rate drivers, drivers rate customers.
Yes.
So I don't want to go in a direction that's that transactional necessarily, because this is all speculating. Everything I'm saying, I just thought of now. So there's no deeper groundwork in play other than we talked about last meeting. So again, all I'm saying right now is speculation, but I think that's one thing to consider, not something to do, because you can't make a decision like that just out of nowhere. That's crazy. But something like that could be a potential value of real world, as in, another way for people to find collaborators on an amateur or professional basis. I really can't say. Like I said, everything I'm saying right now, I just thought of, so there's zero groundwork done.
No, but it's brilliant though. It's fantastic. And, I really think that it helps to clarify. I mean, it's massively helpful to clarify what the next step of the technology is going to be. So to help people I'm just thinking about this because it's such a what you said is incredibly helpful, incredibly helpful, especially when it comes to us having a real world hub, and that hub being you being able to essentially insert yourself into any world or subworld, however we'll call it. So
aside from inserting yourself, I mean, I'm a big fan of stunts in general. I would be very happy if there was like a sci-fi world or something to have no part in it, but just show up and do stunts for people. Take a punch here and there. So that's where I think a real world profile that stands alone from your character profiles would be great. Because again, say somebody like me who just wants to do stunts here and there, you just find them on Real World, say, hey, I'm making this series and, you know, my sci-fi world can help me out with the fight scene. Or again, anything else like cameras, lighting, you know?
Excuse me, man. I'm just picking up an order. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so I essentially I even do Uber Eats, and anytime I hand somebody off something, I either pass them the JFH card directly, or I stick it on, I stick the sticker or something like that on the bag. So I just make sure that somehow, some way, the message gets there. Then I hope for the best. Kind of like a billboard. So, yeah, man, I love this idea. I really think that, you know, honestly, it's you know, I think it's just a perfectly timed comment that you've made, because we really have to be in a position to make sure that the next stage that we are offering is that we are promoting on WeFunder and saying, hey, invest in us, because our next stage is we're going to be able to offer this to anybody. But then to really think about like the details associated with the suite of tools that we're affording people. And I think that this is a massive benefit to anybody who wants to be able to work with another human being and to feel strongly about like who they're going to collaborate with and have a sense of trust. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we want to make sure, and I agree with you, it really does come on the real world side. We want to make sure that people are trusting in the community. And if we do frame this new set of tools and this new kind of profile as like, what are the things you're interested in? Excuse me, I'm just switching to the car. Hold on, switching from headphone to car. There we go, I'm back. But yeah, man, as long as we can be able to deliver, you know, some sense of reliability, I think that we're going to be in a much better position, or we're going to be able to give and offer, you know, that much more to more value. So I think it's just a really important conversation to have, and you know, and thank you for sparking that. I really want people to be able to meet up and feel great, and I think that it'll, you know, whether it happens within the current JFH iteration, or it happens on like, let's say, our next iteration, which is essentially the real world app, you know, built on blockchain, whatever that is, you know, you've articulated something I think really, really key. So thank you.
Well, cheers. I mean, the way I see it, and sorry, my annoying friend just sat on the keyboard.
Oh no, it's super fun. Super fun.
Yeah. Good job, buddy. He's very helpful. Anyways, so yeah, I was saying, he's just gonna need a nap there, isn't he? All right. So I was saying that is Maniac still on me? All right, we're good. So actually, if I'm gonna be on camera, I'm gonna change cameras because this one's the bad one. But
it looks great to me, man.
So what I was saying before I got interrupted by this lunatic here is that a lot of the time people get so inundated by apps and such that they really need a quick, solid answer to what's this for, what's it do. So I think it'd be great to have a straightforward answer, you know, and one of these answers could be access to a community. because that's what you really want, is not just a technical feature, but something real behind it, you know?
Yeah.
In a very transactional sense, people use Uber Eats and such because they want food. They just don't want to play with the app, and it's just a game, not an app anymore. Well, technically an app, but you know. So where I was going with that is that for something like this, it's really key to have a real value, something tangible that people can see a clear benefit from. What I can say is, funny, I was talking to a coworker, sorry to cut you off, the other day, and he was talking about that, you know, he produces content in his time away from the day job, and he was saying,
can you hear me?
That,
I lost you.
Oh, how about now? Am I still there?
Yes, you're still there, just kind of going in and out.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was saying I've got a friend who was saying that he's trying to become a producer, and his main skill set is just knowing people, networking, and bringing them together for small projects. So if we're calling this a production company, that could be a step in adding value, is giving people the access to a strong network and the means to navigate it. Basically makes you your own producer to a very lesser extent. I don't want to say that phrase too much because being a producer is such a broad job, you know, that you can't really say be your own producer in any serious sense. But that's the kind of angle I like to explore, the idea of having access to a network and, again, the ability to navigate it could be seen as de facto giving you the ability to produce, at the very least, I would say, amateur to semi-professional content.
I completely agree with you saying, and I would layer on top and underneath that the responsibility, which really comes down to the content being dope. You know, like there's a lot riding, and that's okay. I'm very happy with that feeling on how cool the JFH like content is, in terms of not like a single episode with 7.5 million views, but like, you know, 40 short form pieces of like episodic content or more that are all at the very least of a level of quality that's going to make people want more or keep coming.
So I don't know if you can hear, but I lost audio after, I think you were going to say keep coming back.
Oh, just keep people coming back for more, and that the, you know, let's say 40, there's still a narrative through line, or should I say, like, it's not released yet, but that's lay the foundation for a community of people that want to participate in that kind of experience that will then yield the justification that's needed for us to have these tools that clarify skill sets, and because it's going to be, oh, okay, well, you want to be in it, well, wouldn't it be great if you could find who could really help you and make sure that they're reliable and all this other stuff, because there are filmmaking like ecosystems, apps, platforms that do focus on making sure that filmmakers can connect and can do things together. The whole thing is that, like, what differentiates our filmmaking community from others, and I really think it's going to be the speed and ease of access. And so, you know, it'll, if you go to any other filmmaking community right now, you're going to have the pre-production, production, post-production mentality. And we do want to be able to unfold that, open that up to people in our community, but we also want to make sure that they have a sense of like the instant gratification. So it's like, okay, how do we bridge planning with instant gratification? And I think that's been one of the more subtle yet very, very real and important conversations that we're figuring out of how to articulate with Real World from a technological standpoint and also just from a cultural standpoint. So, but I do think, I mean, I think that this is an incredibly valuable Zoom call because this is like notes, you know. Excuse me, I got to drop off this at the door. It says, please ask to change the gloves, allergies to diaries. Okay, well, we're gonna take this and place it there. We're gonna take, they want it at the door. So you can witness this order, and here is a JFH sticker that's going on this Uber order right now. And it's gonna be great. Here we go. Gonna stick this on the bag. And yeah, let me hold this up a little bit. Look at that. Sticking it right on the bag. Justice for hire. There we go. Look at that. All right. So I'm gonna just drop this off. Make sure I have the keys so I don't lock myself out. All right. It's got this over here. Mike, pivoting. Let me stick my headphones in so you can hear me more clearly. Mike, pivoting the conversation, any thoughts for, I don't have any thoughts for this week's challenge yet, even though I have some ideas that I do want to explore, but I still think that the main series content and the Urban Action Showcase has to be the focus right now. See, 11:25. So any thoughts or ideas on what you want to, anything you're interested in for this week, content wise? 11:225.
I would say we could maybe play into the showcase again, just because that is coming up pretty soon. Maybe I posted a couple of things here and there that were from previous Urban Action showcases, but I'd say maybe something to do with how it started. I think I lost you. Can you hear me?
All right. Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah. But I could for a second.